Hey friends, Allison here. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm sharing a scrapbooking layout I made using inspiration from paper issues. I began with a Scraplift of one of their layouts for the month of September. But I switched it around a little bit. You saw the layout that I scraplifted at the beginning of the video. It had a shelf down at the bottom of the layout and everything sat on top of it. I flipped mine around and everything is going to sit below the shelf. So rather than using water splashes like in the original layout, I used some scrap pattern papers that I had in my stash. I tore them with my paper tearing tool. And then I found sunflowers over in Cricut Design Space and I cut those and used them to decorate my layout. So there's going to be 3 layered over top of the torn papers. The pattern papers that I used for the shelf portion of this layout were actually scraps, and they came from a 6x6 paper pad. I can't say for sure what paper pads they came from. It was probably ancient My Mind's Eye patterned paper, but they were lying on my desk and I wanted to get them used up. So that is, I adhered that to the layout with my tape runner, and then the flowers were adhered over top of that. The center flower is slightly larger than the other 2 sunflowers, and I popped it up with some craft foam so that the other flowers could slide somewhat underneath, and it would create a little bit of depth and dimension on the layout. Because there's a teensy little bit of mint pattern paper in this layout, I decided to pull in just a little bit more by matting my photos to some white cardstock first, and then to some scrap mint cardstock. I printed my pictures at 2x3 inches. There's 2 of them, and they both got matted to cardstock, so they're slightly larger than 2x3 inches. And I decided to adhere them so that they are askew. That's not the right word. They're on 2 different heights is what I'm trying to say. Just for no reason, a little bit of interest, basically. Once the pictures are adhered to the layout, once again, I just used my tape runner to glue them. I added a couple other sunflowers, the last 2 sunflowers that I die cut with my Cricut, both to the bottoms of each of the photos, and then they have leaves as well. So I'm just figuring out the placement right now. I did have the sunflowers both glued at this point, but they weren't quite in the places that I wanted them to, so I just kind of shimmied them over a little bit. Luckily, I didn't tear the paper too much. They hadn't adhered really, really well at this point, and so I was able to easily move them around to where I wanted them. And next comes the title. I die cut the title using my Cricut as well. The title was one whole unit that said Autumn Greetings, but I decided not to use the greetings portion of the die cut, and instead I decided to stamp it. I had thought about using alphas that I have in my stash as well, but I don't have any orange. So the next best thing was to stamp it. Now I could have stamped out the greetings portion of the title in 2 chunks, because obviously I don't have 2 letter E's or 2 G's to create the word greetings. But rather than doing it in chunks, I decided to do the letters individually to try and get them as close together as possible so that it still fit basically centered underneath the word autumn. It's a little bit off because the one leaf is in the way, but it's close enough for me and I'm happy with it. The journaling is going underneath my title. I'm just marking out pencil lines right now so I can keep my journaling straight. I'm going over those pencil lines with my pen. And with that, this layout is pretty well complete. I do add the date down beneath the journaling. And the last touch for this layout is a little bit of a clear shimmer brush from Close to My Heart, just to give the centers of those sunflowers a little bit of sparkle and shine. thanks for joining me today. I hope this layout inspired you, and I hope you enjoyed my video. If you did, give it a thumbs up and a like. And if you're new to my channel and you are newly subscribed, welcome. And if you're new to my channel and you haven't subscribed yet, maybe consider doing that if you enjoy Cricut projects and want to see more projects made with your Cricut. I'll be back again soon with more creative inspiration. Bye, friends.